Welcome to the Bek Siri Show.
And here at Team Serious Tri Club, it's not just about swim, bike, run. It's about who you become. On our show, we don't just talk to you about swimming, cycling, and running.
We talk about mindset. We talk about fearless authenticity and being your very best self.
Hey, this is Ashley from Team Serious Tri Club. In tonight's episode, Siri and Bek talk all about what it's like training pro triathletes and 70.3 champ Ellie Salthouse. Hope you enjoy it.
Welcome everybody, Team Serious Tri Club. We're so excited to be here because Siri had some amazing results on the weekend.
Yes.
I'm not going to spoil it, Siri. What do you want to say?
My amazing athlete Ellie Salthouse, guys, her fifth race of the season, her fifth win, consecutive win in a row. She traveled 40 hours and raced probably the hardest bike course on the circuit in Ironman 70.3 Andorra in Spain.
Amazing.
She said it's the hardest bike course she's ever done in her life.
And I know it's hard because 310 for her, she normally rides about a 210 to 220. Yeah. So that's like an hour harder. That's insane.
She said it was absolutely epic, but not just that, you guys. She traveled 40 hours from Australia, dealing with a total time change, dealing with altitude. She hasn't been at altitude, and that race was at altitude, and she crushed it. She did an amazing job. It was such a confidence builder. So proud of her. She's just the ultimate champion, and it was just an amazing day. And she arrives here in Boulder late tomorrow night. So looking forward to being together and really setting off on our Mission St. George World Championships.
So before we talk about your preparation for her without giving too much away for World Champ Series, tell people a little bit about how long you've been coaching Ellie. I think it was 2013. I'll never forget the first swim session. We'll have to get her on one of these lives. We're definitely going to be doing some live workouts, showing you guys some of the training she's been doing, and we'll do some live trainer sessions, and I will get as many videos as I can of Ellie training because she just epitomizes everything that we're both about, especially my Siri here. But you've coached her since 2013, so that's like 8 years. So tell us a little bit about just when she first came to you and how you approached that with a new athlete, and then how she has developed today as an athlete and a person.
Well, when she first came, she had her sights set on the Olympic distance and on the ITU.
Yes.
Her weakness, however, was the swim. And I'll never forget the first swim session we did.
It's so crazy to think because she's so good.
In Miami in Australia. And we did a lot of band work. And just like all of you, all of us that do band for the first time, her legs were just dragging on the bottom of the pool.
I remember.
And she had a real slow stroke rate.
Cleaning the bottom of the pool.
Just struggling. And I thought, okay, we've got a lot of work to do. Now, you guys, 8 years later, she leads out pretty much every single swim.
Yeah.
She's always in the front pack. She's an unbelievable swimmer. And that has just come from the day I started coaching her, she just put on her blinders and said, I'm here to learn from you. I'm here to follow your philosophies. No matter how many people were telling her other ways of doing things, she just stuck to the plan. And no matter what plan you choose, you guys, you just have to believe in that plan 1,000,000%. And Ellie has made the most incredible progress. She also needed to improve her bike a lot.
Yeah, hard to believe that when she rides a 210. But I remember, babe, because she had a really high cadence because ITU, they tend to go a little higher than most, than non-drafting, and it was 90. And she just wasn't used to time trialing. It's very different sitting on a wheel than it is to time trialing. So what did you do with her bike specifically?
Well, we built up strength. The first year, 2 years even, was just building strength because my belief is that strength in the hills translates to speed on the flat.
100%.
So she had to get super strong on the hills, doing much more big gear work. I had to bring her cadence down from the mid-90s to the high 80s. And now we're finally down to about 83 is her race cadence. And it shows because she's riding stronger than ever. But her ability to push beyond what she thinks she's capable of is incredible. She's not afraid to, take risks. And most of the time, guys, if you consider that most of us operate at probably 40 to 50% of our true capabilities, taking risks is basically going from 40% of your capabilities to 50% of your capabilities. And she has no problem pushing the limits for herself and being open to the fact that she can be stronger and faster than she could ever imagine. And just the hardest worker, one of the hardest workers I have ever coached. Not just that, just her, trust in me, her trust in our plan, her passion, her attitude, the effort she puts in. She's just a total champion athlete, champion human
She's a
being.
beautiful, beautiful girl. Very humble. She's kind of like a sponsor's dream child,
Absolutely.
I say. I don't know anyone, honestly, from every person I've met on the race circuit over all the years of triathlon, 20 years, I've never met someone that is such an incredible athlete, but also so much humility. It's very, very
so
rare.
Humble.
And I love that about her.
And so grateful all the time. Always, acknowledges the team around
That's
her.
all we want.
Acknowledges the people, whether it be her dogs or her parents or her strength coach or me, but always acknowledges everyone that has been her team throughout this journey to the highest levels. And she's just amazing. And
let's talk about her strength coach, Siri, because this has been one thing where Siri is loves to have just the control of her training, of course, which it obviously works. And Ellie has 100% faith. She's never questioned your training. And Ellie's had niggles, I wouldn't say injuries, but niggles throughout the years. And it's been really hard to find somebody that you have 100% trust in. Like, there's been trainers that are good and seem to know what they're doing, but often there's things that you don't always agree with. But it seemed like this Australian Hew, I can't think of his name.
Hew Darnell.
Hew Darnell, you guys follow him. He's done an amazing job with Ellie.
Amazing job. And he has, with the work he's done with Ellie, I'm convinced now that it was kind of a missing piece that we really needed. And the work he's done with her has led her to just being a much more balanced. Her body balance is amazing now, equal strength, both sides, and just greater power, greater strength. But he has, there's a process to it. He's not just telling her, go do this exercise, go do that.
He has like a 12-month plan for Ellie based on her key races.
Yeah, and we get together, Hew and I get together and discuss the plan.
I've heard the hour discussions. I'm like, she's still talking to
and
her.
And I let him know, we're going to be in a strength phase now, or we're going to be in a speed phase now. And he then creates his strength program that aligns with exactly where we're at in her swim, bike, run training.
Yeah, and it's not just within that quarter or that race, it's each week. It's daily, it's weekly, and he adjusts. And then is there anything specific that you can think of? Because we have an exciting announcement. We are going to partner with Hew, and he's going to be able to come on and do some virtuals with our club, which I think is incredible. Obviously, he is one of the best strength trainers in Australia. Is there anything specific he's been doing with Ellie that, just as a little quick tip for any of these guys, something specific with mobility or strength or working on glutes or any activation stuff you can think of that you think has been a game changer for her?
Yeah, lots of activation. I mean, obviously, making sure that you're using your glutes, not just on the bike, but on the run. Making sure that we are strengthening the weaker parts of her pedal stroke or the weaker parts of her run stride. And that has meant, heavier weights, lower reps, and that stuff is really working. But it's the timing of it all. It's not overdoing it. It's doing it with the right technique. It's doing it in the right order. But he's just been tremendous. And it's been so great, during COVID, Ellie hasn't been able to be here in Colorado for almost 2 years now. And he's incredible with mindset. He's incredible just helping guide the athlete with the right mindset that you need to continue plugging away and stepping up to the plate every single day without having a race on the schedule, without having, clear markers of how you're doing. When there were no races during COVID, that's hard. So we came up with challenges for her, so she always had something that she was working towards. But he's been an incredible asset to our team, and I'm so grateful to Hew, and I'm so excited that he's going to share his brilliance
He just said
with
yes.
all of us.
I reached
Awesome.
out because I've been through a lot of strength coaches and a lot of people want to work with our athletes.
And they've all been great.
Yeah, but when I saw what he's doing with Ellie, I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, this guy's got something special. And his whole attitude too. Like,
Yeah.
he's such a really good
And
guy.
he's a team player. And that's what I love.
And I love more that because of myself having exercise science background, when I realized that he has that exercise physiology background, he's an exercise physiologist, just gave me that extra confidence. And he is going to do some virtuals with our club. It'll be, I don't think we can do it for free because obviously he's doing a lot of his time from Australia and he's highly sought after, but it'll be very, very cheap and financially viable for everybody. So we're going to bring that in pretty soon, as well as the live workouts. Now, Siri, we have some questions here, a lot of them about timing, scheduling, fitting in training, and everything like that with their work. Now, one of the questions was, and I can't find the name to it, but was about scheduling. My schedule has to change as well due to being shift work, working starting 8 p.m. Oh, starting at 8 p.m., finishing at 6 a.m. How do I adjust my training and my rest recovery? You basically have to be a nocturnal and just sleep during the day. I don't think it's a lot different. It's just sleeping during the day. Flipping it. Yeah.
Right. So instead of, going to bed at 8 and waking up at 6, you'll be going to bed at 6 a.m. and waking up at 8 would be just flipping it, right? It's kind of like if you flew to a different time zone.
Wake up at 4 a.m. to work out, right?
Where it's totally different. But here's the thing. I mean,
and the other question was, if they start at 8 a.m. and don't finish till 6 p.m., when should they train? My advice would be, they want to get up at like 4:30 and get to bed early. If you finish work at 6, like, you don't have to necessarily do a workout at night if you're tired, but you can get to bed by 8 p.m. If you can get up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock, you can easily fit in an hour and a half before like 7, so you're ready to go to work by 8.
I think that's a great idea because it's going to give you more energy for the day. When I was working like 70 hours a week when I first started triathlon, I would wake up an hour early. I would actually run to work. I don't know if you have an option to bike or run to work, but that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I would swim during my lunch hour and eat, when I'm doing work at my desk. I know this doesn't sound very restful. And then after work, I would train again if I had the energy. But here's the key. You don't want to push yourself into oblivion. If you're exhausted, as long as you get a workout in at one of those times, whether it's an hour before work, during your lunch hour, or after work, that's fantastic. Okay, I was extremely driven and I had this massive goal that seemed impossible. So that's why I did it the 3 times a day. But just do what you can. Maybe if you have those long shifts where you're not sleeping, I would go to like a 4 or 5 day training plan where you train really, really well on 4 days, and then you have 3 days that are either off or just whatever you have time or energy for. And I've done that with a lot of athletes that have had full-time jobs before, a 4-day training plan, which has worked beautifully. Because the thing is that if you don't recover mentally and emotionally, you're going to feel physically exhausted. So you can exhaust any of those systems. I talk about this all the time. You have mental energy, physical energy, emotional energy, spiritual energy. And if you're not getting enough rest and you get, extremely low on all of those energies, you're going to be useless in everything that you do. So you have to pay attention. If you feel motivated to train after a big, long shift, do it. That's awesome. But if you are emotionally and mentally exhausted, you will be better off sleeping and going to a 4-day-a-week
100%.
plan.
Yep. And I think that most people, like most of our age groupers, work full time, and they need to they can only get 1 session in. And most of the guys I coach and that are on plans, most of them can only squeeze in the morning session or an afternoon session. We prefer morning. I just think it's better for the whole energy system and for working and feeling better. But even 1 hour, if you can do 1 hour Monday to Friday or Monday to Thursday, having Friday off or Thursday off, whatever suits you, you've got your weekend. Even if you have to sleep a little, if it's like, say you're in Florida and you're exhausted and you don't want to get up at 5 o'clock on a Saturday, get up at 7, but do your bike session on the trainer in the air conditioning. It's not bad to do that. I've got my guys doing that right now in summer in Florida because It is so exhausting to get out at 8, 9 o'clock in the heat. They want to sleep in, they want to have a morning with their family, and they're exhausted. And I say, get on your trainer, get in the air conditioner, put your fan on, and you'll get much more out of your workout. Because we ran there like last month, and oh my God, I actually had to walk. It was so hot. I have so much more respect
And
for athletes.
that's fine every once in a while, but if you really want to get the benefit from your training, do it right, do it in the air conditioner, and then you can get that heat acclimatization on those easier sessions.
Yep, and you're going to get it living there anyway. You're going to get acclimation while you're living in the heat, because you're in and out of work, in and out of the car, you're walking around outside some of the time, and I think you already get that acclimation. So, so put up, guys, if you have any more questions. They're the only ones I can kind of remember right now. Post in there if you have anything, and just feel free to shout out to Ellie Salthouse and congratulate her 5 from 5. I just think it's amazing.
And how about you guys? Tell us some of your achievements this past week. An achievement,
and who's racing?
An achievement can be just finishing a session you didn't think that you could, or
breaking
going
100
or 200 meters longer on your swim.
I saw someone broke 2 minutes for 100 freestyle for the first time ever.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
So share your victories on the page. Let us celebrate those with you. We're so proud of you. Let us know if you're racing soon, if you're racing this coming weekend or the next weekend, so we can be there to cheer you on virtually. But let us know what you're up to. We're so proud of you all. You're doing such an amazing job. If you have any questions or you have anything you need from us, always post on the wall. We'll get back to you as soon as possible. But keep up the amazing work.
And I really want to quickly add 2 things, because a lot of the time we get people reaching out saying they want to train for an Ironman, but they only have 10 hours a week. It's totally doable if you do the right training. We totally believe that our 10-hour to Ironman plan, which is a 23-week plan that Siri created with all her key workouts, you can do it. It does go up to 12 hours, 13 hours, a couple of weeks, but you can totally do that with 1 session a day, as long as you're getting your key sessions in and there's no wasted fluffy stuff. So you can do it. And the other thing is
this has been tested, guys, with great success.
She has had amazing success. I've had quite a few on there too. We have quite a few athletes on it. And it's so good mentally too, because people working full time with families, they just can't do 2-3 hours a day unless it's a weekend. Then they have to get there. You have to get your long workouts in, or you should try and get your 4 or 5 hour bikes and then your 2 hour runs. You should try and be doing those at least 8 to 10 times. Of course, you need to do that, but it's totally doable. And the other thing I wanted to add was the sprint plan, the sprint tri plan, the 12-week. It's a mini series. It's basically a mini workshop. 12-week beginner tri plan for all our beginners, because there are some beginners asking about plans too, and that is 12 weeks, and it's 1 session a day, and it's never more than about an hour. You may get up to like an hour, 10, 15 running at the most. Totally doable, and you won't go past a 2-hour bike ride because you're only riding 20K. You do like an hour and a half, I think, is your longest bike. So we've covered all our bases, I think, there.
Yeah, and it's amazing. We're so proud of it,
There's
you guys.
20 videos.
Both Bek and I have put our heart and soul into this, and it's an amazing plan that has already led a lot of people to amazing results for their first sprint races. So check that out. And I want to celebrate Janet Dixon, who is celebrating the victory of cleaning her bike post Lubbock. That's huge. Okay,
that's a great
Janet,
victory.
That'd be a big victory for me too.
Anything else we're celebrating? You celebrating anything particular other
life,
than being alive?
Every single moment. Every single moment is a celebration of life.
Someone asked me, "What are you training for now? Because you look so fit." I'm training for life. For life and longevity. That's it. That feels good after 20 years of triathlon.
Amazing.
Training.
I love it.
Beginner plan is amazing, says Karen. Now, Karen is on our beginner plan. She started a couple of weeks ago. She's doing her first ever. She's doing a duathlon, but she's on the tri plan, which is totally doable. You just don't do the swims. You add a little bit of extra biking, and she's doing a half marathon first, and then she's doing a duathlon.
Amazing. Karen, you're such an inspiration. We're so proud of you.
We want to hear more about that too.
Can't wait.
Keep logging.
Keep posting on your training. We love seeing it.
So I don't see any more questions. We had one about fueling, but we have talked about that before. There's a really basic guide to fueling for Ironman. It's pretty much on the bike, and I've seen some arguments for and against, but pretty much on the bike you want to do 1 gram of carb per kilo of body weight per hour. That is at race pace, race speed, race conditions. You don't expect to be able to absorb that in training, but if you get that in on the bike, you should pretty much be able to top up on the run. So there we go. We have a new member. Carlos Santiago is on. He joined the club last week. We are
Carlos! Oh, Carlos!
We are very excited.
Carlos, I look forward to meeting you very, very soon. So what
Hopefully
Bek wrote
soon.
you in an email is coming straight from the horse's mouth, my mouth. And we hope to see you out here soon. So can't wait to hear back from
fastest
you.
Mexican triathlete over Ironman distance, guys, has just joined Team Siri Sky Club. We are very excited and honored to have him. Watch this space. I'm just saying, you guys, a former swimmer who swam like a 23, I think it was. No, maybe 25, a 5,500, I know that, and a 1655 for 1,500 meters. This guy can freaking swim. He can ride and he can run too. He's like a 16-something 5K runner. He's now asked Siri and I to coach him, and Siri will be riding the program. I'm going to be learning from my wife. And he's turned pro, and he's the fastest triathlete in Mexico over Ironman. He's going pro this year, which we are and he's young. He's like 29.
Carlos,
Look out.
I want to take you under my wing.
Listen to
and
this
Bek's wing. Okay.
We're kind of fighting over who was going to coach him, but she has the more experience, so she
I am just saying that I am super excited, Carlos. I hear that, and this is incredibly important to me, that you are an amazing human being. And that's crucial for me. So can't wait for you to get out here and to get started.
Yep. And someone was asking about our nutrition, fueling, hydration systems. That is XLab, XLAB. I think we get 30% off those. I'm pretty sure it's 30% from Candace. Just tag Candace in here. She will help you with that. We're very lucky to have that. It's pretty cool. We have so many sponsors. We have Quintana Roo. We have Zone 3 wetsuits. We have Magic 5 goggles. We have F2C. Rudy Project, 40%
Normatec
off.
boots.
Normatec boots. Hyper Ice. Like the lowest discount, I believe, is now 20%. Is the lowest discount we get.
Yeah.
Quantum Performance CBD, 100% organic CBD. So we have so much. Anyway, you guys, no more questions, so we're going to tune out, but we love you. We're always here, and look forward to some live virtual workouts with Miss Ellie Salthouse and
From
Siri.
the pain cave, guys. We're going to give her a little.
Yeah, we'll give her a week or two to adjust.
So she traveled Australia to Spain, won a big race, hardest race she's ever done, she said. Is flying all the way to Colorado. She's getting her second COVID test on Wednesday. So you may not have a live workout with Ellie
For
and I
a week or two.
maybe until next week, because again, there's a science to getting adjusted to training at altitude, which I abide by very seriously. So, but we will do some great
What's
sessions.
your adjustment?
Well, so in the first week at least, nothing sustainably hard. So we'll do speed, and that means like 15 to 20, maybe 30 seconds hard or fast with a ton of rest. So the key when you first get to altitude is you can get that speed, but you sprinkle it in with a ton of rest so that at no point in time that first week is your heart rate up high for an extended period of time. You must drink double the amount of water that you typically drink at sea level. This is absolutely crucial. We do a lot of strength work. We do longer stuff, but I will keep her heart rate low, so she'll be doing like longer rides, but so easy that she can sing while she's riding. So
She makes them sing, actually.
If
I'm
you're
writing
going-
all this down.
if you're going to train at altitude for a long period of time, you've got to do it right. You've got to do it right. So we have a science behind this. I've been doing this for 20 years of coaching, and it's always worked out beautifully. So you do have to be aware. Like Ellie went into Spain. Now she came from Australia at sea level, and this race was at altitude.
Oh, gosh.
Probably about the same altitude that we are here. So she knew that that was going to be challenging. And she knew she was going to be huffing and puffing. She was going to be breathing heavier. And if she were going to, so that was okay for one race. But now that she's going to be here for the next 11 weeks, we need to do this right. And it works out beautifully because we're going to be recovering from that race, which gives us a perfect opportunity to get acclimated to the altitude and then we can really start building up. So it's going to be amazing.
I even took notes there, you guys, to put in our podcast, because obviously this is going to a podcast. It's really important, I think, for people to know what to do, because some people do too much, some do way too less, some it's a little more psychological than others, some with low hematocrit adjust better than ones with higher hematocrit. There's so much to go into it, but Siri's kind of got it down pat after 20 years of doing it, so it's a big gift to have when you know what you're doing there.
Yeah, so Carlos, let us know when you're coming, and
see you next week. See you next week, buddy.
Yes, I'd love to see you next week, Carlos.
Tell us a story about Brett. The last thing, we've got one more minute.
So every amazing decision that I've made in my life, when Brett Sutton said he would coach me, he said, I will see you in the next 2 days in Switzerland. Mm-hmm. Now, I had a house in Boulder, Colorado, 3 dogs.
And it was pregnant with puppies.
My dog was pregnant with puppies. But, hey, I wanted this more than anything in the world. So what did I do? I had my mom move into my house. She took care of all my animals.
She delivered 10 puppies. No joke. I'm not joking.
Flew out the next day and arrived in Switzerland exactly when he told me to. So all I know is that when a great opportunity falls in your lap,
leap and the net will appear.
Leap and the net will appear. Good one.
Yep. Leap and the net will, or your wings will appear. And Siri, when she got there, this is a story she'll tell another time, but she got there and had no training clothes other than denim shorts and her bike.
No, it was what I traveled in. I had jeans.
Jeans and your bike, and she had to wear her jeans on the turbo trainer
with my Vans. Okay?
And run in her
jeans. With my Vans, because my bike shoes were in my suitcase. And Brett made me do a 3-hour trainer session
and
next to Loretta Harrop,
who didn't even say a word.
In my jeans, my Vans, my travel gear, on the trainer, and Loretta didn't say a single word to me. I was like terrified.
Yeah.
But anyways, don't worry, Carlos. I'm not going to do that to you. But amazing stories, amazing memories. So any of you that are traveling to altitude or training long-term at altitude, if you have any questions, post them on the wall. We will answer. We've got the secrets here, and can't wait to see you all out here for our training camp.
Yep. We can't wait. 28th, 29th of August. There's still, I think, a few spots left, 3 or 4 spots left. So don't miss out, you guys, because you guys get it for a lot cheaper than the general members. And it's totally going to be worthwhile. 2 days, full immersion. Everything you can think of, jam-packed into 2 days. And we will send you that code for XLab, Kristen, for sure. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to voice it here because this goes out to a wider audience. But I will send that to you privately. So, yep. Good.
Excellent.
All right, you guys. Well,
have an amazing week,
love you
everybody.
guys.
Hey, this is Ashley again from Team Serious Tri Club. Hope you enjoyed tonight's chat with Bek and Siri. If you'd like to join these chats in real time, visit teamserioustriclub.com. Thanks so much.